So yesterday we discussed about NAT gateway and NAT instance. So what is the difference between NAT gateway and NAT instance? The purpose is, the purpose is to provide internet to instances. NAT devices need to reside in public subnet and attach to the private subnet, which we need internet. So route table should have two rules. One is the VPC cider block is going to use the local, either NAT gateway or NAT instance we required. So this route table need to be attached. Okay. And once your patching or maybe software downloads, all work is done, again better to remove the
Yeah.
remove that route table, again bring back which route table. Better to bring back the main route table. Better to bring back the main route table itself. Then the purpose is same, but what is the difference between NAT gateway and NAT instance? What is the difference between NAT gateway and NAT instance? Okay, so the difference between NAT gateway and NAT instance is NAT gateway is managed by AWS. Patching and updates for NAT instance, high availability, who need to take care?
AWS.
No, no. For NAT gateway, AWS will take care. For NAT instance, that instance is down. We don't get the internet. That's all we need to take care. Multiple NAT instances like this, high availability, we need to take care for NAT instance. But for NAT gateway,
The AWS will take.
yeah, the bandwidth. So we chosen the instance type, right? So which instance type we have chosen, accordingly we are going to get the IOPS and bandwidth. Whereas NAT gateway is automatic scalable. What is that meaning? What is that meaning of that? Automatically it can be scalable means? Say suppose we have only 10 devices in the private subnet. For that, what is the bandwidth it can give? Automatically it can give. Even if you got all of sudden 200 devices are there, even it can do the internet to the 200 devices also. This means automatically it can scale up or scale down. But instance type, if it is an NAT instance that decided based on the type only. If you choose free tier, will get very less IOPS. Okay, but automatically can scale up or scale down is possible through NAT gateway.
Not
Okay, so that is also one of the reason will. Okay, then elastic IP is mandatory for elastic IP is mandatory for which device? Elastic IP is mandatory for NAT
at
gateway.
gateway.
For NAT instance, we no need of elastic IP. Normal public IP is also is enough. Okay, so these all the differences we should tell between NAT gateway and NAT instance. Then one more differences we need to discuss is NACL versus security groups. NACL versus what is the difference between NACL and security group? So what are the differences between NACL and security group?
NACL provides firewall rules at subnet level, whereas the security groups at instance level.
Yeah, security group, but not only the instance, even other resources like in the subnet, like RDS or load balancers. So like this, we are going to define. So then next difference. What is the next differences? We can have allow and any kind of rule set. Allow and any kind of rule set. NACL or security group? The NACL. The remaining rules are they need. And we can so we can give the priority to the rules in NACL or security group. NACL we can give the priority by default. We'll get the 100 priority like this. Okay, in security group, no priorities for rules. No priority for the rules. By default, all inbound, outbound, traffic is opened in NACL. Whereas whereas outbound traffic is opened in security group. We need to define the rules. Any doubts on this? Yeah, any doubts? And in NACL, rules are stateless. So that is, if we add inbound rule, automatically it would be added to outbound also. In security group, it's not like that. If you add inbound, it's only to the inbound. It automatically won't add to outbound or vice versa. So these are all the differences we should able to tell between NACL and security groups. Okay, so then we need to discuss VPC peering. So what is the concept of VPC peering is, by default within the VPC, any IP can communicate with any IP. But if you have two different VPCs, by default the connection is not going to be established using the private connection. You want the private connection between those two. For that we need to go for
Right. VPC layer.
VPC peering. Okay. So one of the main prerequisite for VPC peering is we shouldn't have conflict of IP address. Means if already have a one VPC with the 10.10.0.0/16 and in another VPC also with the same 10.10.0.0, then in both the VPCs we may have the same IPs, then duplicate of IPs we can't communicate with each other. Then what is the prerequisite? Then what is the prerequisite? If you want to peer two VPCs, okay,
They
so we
should be
shouldn't
a
have the
different type.
conflict of IPs. So that is the reason two default VPCs we can't peer, because already they have both in the 170 dot like 31.0.0/16 itself. Okay, so that is the purpose. It's not possible,
To peer it.
yeah, to peer them. Okay, so but we need to make sure when you are creating the custom, we need to make sure both doesn't have the,
Different IPs.
yeah, both didn't have the different IBs. Okay, so that's all we need to take care. Yeah, any like why we need to go for VPC peering is maybe two regions have the replication, or two like one VPC have some database and have other servers in another VPC. So like this, if you have the requirements, then we need to go for,
Peering. Peering them.
yeah, we need to go for the peering. Okay, and one more thing is transitivity is not possible. That means A to B, if we have the peering, okay, B to C, if we have peering, we don't get peering automatically between, we don't get peering automatically between
C to A.
A to C or C to A. So what is that meaning? Transitivity is not coming. Okay, if you want between A to C again explicitly,
We need to pair them.
yeah, we need to pair them. And if you pair them between A to C, it's bidirectional. That means if you pair between A to B means B to A also it can be paired. Okay, is it fine?
Yes,
Okay, transitivity is not possible. Okay, and whatever the IP ranges we have defined, those should be in the reserved private ranges itself. That means we can't use 10 dot series or 172 series or 192 series. Other than that, if you create the cider blocks, peering is not possible. Okay, is it fine? Like we need to define definitely the IANA specified reserved ranges itself. Is it fine?
yes, sir.
Okay. So now, like we are going to do the VPC peering, how to establish the peering, all those will do. Just like it's how you can send a friend request. Like VPC, we have a requester and VPC acceptor. Okay. So VPC requester or acceptor. So VPC peering possible between same region or cross region or multi region or cross account also. What is the meaning of cross account? Say my account having one VPC and another my channel partner or my partner account having one more VPC. I want to communicate between those two. I want to replicate the data to other VPC, or I want to connect to the database in another VPC. So these kind of scenarios also is possible. In the very early stage of VPC peering, when they have given only within the region they have supported, but later they supported all the regions also. Okay, so definitely where will have latency between within the region or between multiple regions. So where we will have the latency.
In the region.
So within the region we don't have latency.
Yes, sir. Why?
Within the region, like they're communicating with the high network. If it is two regions, then we'll have the latency. If it is the same region, then we don't get that much latency is there, because within the available zones and within the same VPC, within the region we have a lot of performance would be there. Between the multi-region and the pricing also, uh, the data transfer, how much data we transferred for the peering connection establishment, they don't charge the money. For what they will charge the money?
Like for how much data is
How
transferred,
much
like how
data
much
we
work
transferred, and how much data we transferred within the region, the price may be different.
the region might be different.
Okay, for the multi-region, if it is, the price may be different. Okay, accordingly, we are going to plan our VPC peering. And are we getting transitivity by default? No. Okay.
No,
And once we
not
send a request to that VPC requester and acceptor, the acceptor need to accept it. It's just like our friend request. Okay, so VPC requester will send a request to
VPC.
acceptor. Okay, so what are the details we want is acceptor. So acceptor VPC ID we want, and in which region it is, and if it is another account, then that account ID also. That means whether that VPC is in which region and in the same account or in another account. And the third one, what we required, that VPC ID. Okay, so once we send the request, acceptor need to accept the request. Okay, so only by accepting the request, peering won't establish. We need to configure. So we need to configure the. So we need to configure the route tables. So try to understand. I have two VPCs here. One VPC is 10.20.0.0/16. Another VPC is 10.30.0.0/16. Okay. So then I have accepted this peering connection between these two. We have accepted the VPC peering. The peering has been established. Then in the 10.20.series, 10.20.0.0/16 will have, it's a local router would be there. Okay, so no doubts right about that. So 10.20 anyhow we have, but for peering connection, after you establish the peering connection, we need to add one more route for this. What is the opposite sider block? What is that opposite sider block? 10 dot. So this need to establish. Normally we'll attach a internet gateway, NAT gateway, or NAT instance already we have attached. So now here we need to establish that peering connection ID will come. That's we need to attach. This to which subnet we are attaching? To the 10.20 subnet we are attaching. Then what are the route table rules we have for 10.30 is local. Then can you tell me another route rule? Can you tell me the another route rule? So what is for 10.30 by default will get 10.30 will use the local router. Then what is another route we need to add? What is the type opposite sider block rule? What is the opposite sider block rule? 10.16 need to use the peering connection. Like this, we need to update the we need to update the route table rules. If you don't add this route rule, so what is that meaning is in 10.20 series, if the IP comes with the 10.20 series, that uses the local router. Okay, if it is comes with the 10.30 series,
That is also local.
no, if 10. No, no, in the 10.20 series we are talking. In the 10.20 series, if the IP comes with 10.30, it establishes using the peering connection.
Yes.
10.20 series, if comes, there it uses the local router. In 10.30, if the 10.30 is their local IPs. But if it is comes from 10.20,
it need to pair it.
the connection is going to happen established through the peering connection. These rules we need to apply to
Route table.
route tables. Otherwise, even if you establish a connection also, there is no use. If you establish a connection also, there is no use. Okay, so these things we need to define. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
So then these need to be uploaded to the subnets to which we want the peering connection. To which subnets we want the peering connection. For those we need to attach. Then the connection is going to be established between those two. And using the private IPs, they can communicate. No need of any internet also. No need of internet also. Yeah, any doubts on this? Any doubts?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay. So then we'll create those VPCs.
Sir, there is some amount is charged in my account. So can you check that once?
Yeah, sure. This password is same or
Yes, same.
check? Yeah.
Open the bills there. It will show.
NAT gateway, you try to delete.
Yeah, but I realized late and I
Yeah, you
have deleted
deleted, right?
yesterday.
Yeah, no
Yesterday,
issues, no
yeah,
issues.
yeah.
They don't charge you, but they
Okay.
may block. Okay. So what are
So
the resources you provisioned? Delete those.
yeah, but I don't know whether it will get charged or not.
No,
So
no, they don't. You no need to pay
ah,
this. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Sure.
So
Then
will it get any restrictions
no,
if you
no.
don't
After
pay?
that, they will block the account. That's it. You can create one more.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for practice purpose, don't stop all those you use, and you can raise a request also. Like we are using only for the learning purpose.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now here we have one VPC.
So I need to check every region we created those
No, no.
components, right?
In the billing, they're showing globally itself, but resource
Uh,
wise, you need to check the. So now here they're trying to implement a global view also,
okay.
but as of now, not giving that the global view of all the resources.
Okay. So yesterday I deleted
Yeah, yeah. So now
the gateways. Uh,
here they're going to give the global view.
okay.
So how many instances we have and how many subnets, all those they'll try to show them you in all the regions. It will get it and it will bring here.
Okay. Will it show that currently what are the components we are
Yeah,
using?
that itself in the in the global view you can get that.
Okay.
So how many security groups you are using, auto scaling, how many route tables. Are you able to see the screen or not?
But I have not checked it yet.
No,
I
no.
just
Here you can.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, here in this global view you can see what are that we have. Okay, so now here we have one our VPC is there, ITCM VPC North Virginia, and what is the cider block? What is the cider block we have here?
10.1.
At 10.10.0.0/16, and we'll go for another region also. So here we have ITCM 10.22.0.0/16. Okay. So now what is that our requirement is between North Virginia to Singapore, we need to have a peering connection. So we need to establish a peering connection. Okay. So this is the VPC ID we have. Okay, but this is in the North Virginia. I'll go to Singapore. From the Singapore, I'm going to raise a connection. Go to your VPCs. Then here, uh, left side will have the peering connections. Create a peering connection. Okay, so now Singapore, North Virginia, ITCM peering is the name we have given. And locally, what is the VPC is, we have Singapore ITCM VPC, which is in 10.22. Now here we have to choose two more options. So what is the option we need to choose here? Say that accepted VPC is in our account or another account, we need to choose. Okay. Say that VPC also, like accepted VPC is in our account or another account.
Our account
In
only.
our account itself. If it is another account, then choose here and get that account ID. You can ask them to send their account ID also. Okay, but as of now, in our scenario, it's both are in the same account, and
But different region.
yeah, the region is different. So region is US East one here. Okay, then that VPC ID of the acceptor I already copied. Okay, so then we are going to establish the peering connection. So now what we need to do in the North Virginia is that VPC request will come. We need to accept it. So if we go to this VPC peering connections, or left side, if you go to this here, the peering connections. Okay, so as of now, the status is pending acceptance. Here you can do the accept the request or reject the request. So now here what we are doing, so we are going to accept the request. So it takes some time. Then definitely the connection will come to available state or active state. Okay, but with this we don't get the connection. Only the connection has been established, but we need to modify our route tables. So I'll go for creating a new route table. ITCM North Virginia to Singapore, I'll call, and this is our VPC. Create this route table. So now here by default route we'll get is maybe in 10.10 series we may get it. Okay, so then what is the new route we need to add here? What is the new route we need to add? If the destination is, what is that another CIDR block? 10.22 in this scenario. /16. Say here we need to choose the peering connection. That peering connection will get one peering connection ID. That connection we need to attach. Okay, these need to be attached to the subnet which we want the peering connection. As of now, here we don't have the subnet. If you have any subnet attached to this. In the same way, if we go to Singapore, in the Singapore route tables also, say here I'll attach Singapore to North Virginia route. ITCM. So now by default here the rule is like 10.22 will come local router 10.22, and in this edit route we need to add that opposite CIDR block with the peering connection. So 10.10.0./16, and target is the peering connection. Okay, so here also we need to check any subnets are there. If you have the subnets, 3 subnets or 4 subnets to which you say suppose for 1B I want to give, or for 1A I want to give the peering connection, then we can establish the connection. So this we can attach to which subnets you want to give the like peering connection. If you have 4 subnets, maybe not mandatory for all the 4 subnets you need to give the peering. Okay, to which subnets you want to attach. For those we can give the peering connection need to be established. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, settle this, try to practice more. So 4 to 5 times or 6 times try to practice, then you will get a clarity.
Maximum,
And
how many VPCs we can interconnect at once?
yeah, I think previously it's 25 VPCs. Now we have 50 VPCs can be linked. Maximum we can go for 125.
Oh,
Okay, say for those queries, you go and search for VPC maximums. Total number of VPCs is, say here in the AWS VPC quotas, you can get all those. Say how many VPCs per region we are creating? 5. How many
right.
subnets?
200.
200. Okay, IPv4, IPv6, 5. Elastic IP also 5. Okay, internet gateways per region also 5. NAT gateways per available zone is 5. Say how many NACLs we can create? 200. How many route tables? 200 route tables. Security groups 2500. Rules are 60. So here we can see the peering quotas. Hmm. So default previously we have 25, I think. Now they given 50 and maximum we can go till 125. Okay. Say this we can't keep as fixed because maybe after like 6 months they may increase also. So hence we need to confirm or check regularly. Okay. And if I send a request, okay, so that need to be accepted within a week. Otherwise, it's going to be expired. That request is going to be expired in a week. It is getting expired. Okay. Then again you can send a request. Okay. So try to do till this NAT gateway, NAT instances, internet gateway, peering connections, all this try to create with the different CIDR blocks. Okay, then uh, so through CLI also try to create the VPC resources. I'll share one like see here we have some of the commands. These all try to create through. So whatever the CLI, sir, whatever the resources we have created, need to provision through CLI. So try to perform those commands also. Okay, so those links just to keep. So from this, what are the steps you have? Configure the AWS CLI and try to run this. Say here, what is the CIDR they are giving? They're giving 172.32, right? Instead of that, you give, what is the CIDR you want? Say suppose I want in 10.23.0.0/16. Then you give that. So like this, try to provision the resources even through CloudFormation we can do, or CLI. Going forward, we'll discuss through Terraform also. Okay?
So the configuration is same for the VPC pairing in within the region and across the regions.
Within the region, even you no need to choose that ID also. In the drop down itself, we'll get it.
Okay, okay. So across the region only, we need to mention that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not retrieving the detail. Before we need to copy and need to give.
okay, okay.
Okay.
And
So
how
those
can
all.
we check that? What are the other components? Like we checked that NAT gateway is being charged, right? So how can we
That is
check
in the global
what?
view. You go and check that what are the region, what are the resources you have.
Okay,
So in the global view, you check it and clean up all those. Here it is showing, right? NAT gateway 2 in 2 regions. It is there.
okay. And
Internet
here is
gateway.
another component which
These all the
is
components it is showing, right? You check it and accordingly count here we have.
okay, sir. There's another component that has been charged a very little bit, but they didn't show in that billing. For that, one second, I'm checking that. It's a IP for IP is in
Maybe for data
use.
transfer also it's may use.
Uh, okay, okay.
Clean up all those resources.
Okay, so yeah, there is another thing is showing like it is being running for 38 hours. That is in use public IPv4 address per hour. Is it associated with that NAT gateway or it's a different one?
Which maybe internet gateway is there, delete that. All the instances also clean up.
Okay, so we need to go to every region and I mean every region we created and that
Yeah,
has to be
resources
deleted.
resources can be accessed from the regions only.
Okay, yesterday actually I deleted that are
No,
created
no,
in
we
the
use
north.
Singapore, North Virginia, and Mumbai. These three mainly check ones.
Okay. So yesterday I only did it in one region only, but I don't know whether it has a different. I mean,
Yeah, that's from the global view. We can get that list.
okay, okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Any other doubts?
That's it.
Okay, sure.